Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism, where we are firing our the light tug in order to land down here. And you'll notice our orbit is a bit off from this one here, that's because I had already tried to fire the engines once and didn't hit record because I started panicking. Basically, if I use this engine here, this whole thing just spins round like a nutter. So I've had to use the 4 engines up the top here to try and keep things on target. The drawback to that is that then our burn times are completely wrong because it thinks we still have this engine included. If I turn off the thrust limits on that one, there we go. It actually gives us the correct times. So even though the engine is disabled, I had to change the thrust limit. There we go. Okay. That's interesting. So we were way off for that one there, but that's fine because I'm coming in from a slightly different angle to try and get things correct. The actual ship is still off center on its firing, but it's not as bad with these engines. It is sort of maintainable. Albeit a bit weird when you go off, it does this, it just completely loses the plot. So yeah, but it is somewhat okay. I was looking in the VAB as well to try and figure out whether I could change these engines for something else. Kind of on iron engines. I like the idea of having it be iron powered, but we need more science for that. But I went for the Twitch engine, one of the ones that attaches radially, and discovered that if I put 4 of them on each one here, it doesn't really increase the weight. It gets roughly the same amount because I can put one of these rounded fuel pods on the bottom. Gives me exactly the same thrust and gives me 63 ignitions and 23 minutes worth of burn time. So I think the next version of the tug is going to go with that until we can get to the point where we probably want to go with iron power. Okay. No, I am literally just going to be firing retrograde pretty much the entire burn. I need to get this facing directly down, so like that. I think I'm actually controlling from this control port here. Yeah, I need to get that directly up because this pushes the whole craft up slightly. And that's kind of what I want here. So landing this is definitely going to be interesting. I might just... well, I can't really ditch the fuel. It's really awkward to keep all these fuel tanks open. Although I could technically do it with this. It becomes confusing. If I did that and then just went out and out, it would push the fuel from this into those, which is fantastic, but then you can't really see stuff. And I think when you bring the map up, it's okay, it's not so bad, but then when you go back into it again, it does remember it. Okay, ignore me. But the drawback to this is then you can't lock these tanks, so I couldn't start doing it with that one. It only works if you've got one tank to empty into all the others. So yeah. Okay, but that will keep this all topped up, which is awesome. Yeah, and I'm basically going to go down and land this on the refinery. At least that's the plan. down, but we are falling over, which I don't think is going to be a big problem, if I'm honest. And let's just fall down. Yeah. That'll do. Now, I don't know what's going on with the ground. Something a little weird. So let me have a look at trying to fix a glitch in the matrix, and we shall be right back. Okay, so quick save and quick reload fixes that right up. I don't know what does that, but I remember having that before. So now comes the fun part. We need to get these parts over to here, and we need to connect them in ways that they aren't particularly designed for. So let's shut down this engine so nothing goes terribly wrong. Let's disconnect this one here. That one there, decouple. And let's hope this has enough thrust to actually get us out of here. So we want to go radial, or surface, sorry, radial out. Go. Oh, we are stuck. Can we wiggle? Can we... About the gear. There we go. Stop. Stop. Okay, that wasn't at all what I wanted, but I think that is going to do it. And we want to go that away. Slow down the thrust. And just gently let that kind of float over. All I need to do is I need to change the camera back to locked mode. Ooh, that's... But that's the top, is it? Okay. That's not very helpful, actually. See, I haven't put energy on this, so I don't know my vertical speed or horizontal speed. That was a serious mistake on my behalf. Really should have done something to allow me to do that. Plus, this is actually completely wrong, so we do need to kind of land this. Because we need to actually push this over. So yeah, I think changes need to be made to this sort of design. I need to be able to hook on directly to the top of these, and can I? No, undock. Ah, no, that one. Slow down. Very confused as to why. No target. No target. Okay, so that landed exactly where it wanted to go, which is excellent. That's what we wanted. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We've crashed. We've crashed. Mistakes were made. Yeah. Yeah, without knowing my vertical or horizontal speed, this is really, really difficult to do. And also, without knowing which way necessarily is up, is a bit of a problem. But that one's up. Okay. So let's go that way and see whether we can actually dock with this. We're going to rotate around a bit. And oh, did we get it? Oh, I think we got it. And it reset our engines when we did it, which is okay. Right, let's turn off the RCS. Okay. Okay, so I've docked that one. So let's now try and get it over there, shall we? So let's put ourselves back into locked camera mode, which is a bit weird to fly us, but I'm kind of doing this because that's forward. What I really need is like 4 control points on top, each one facing a different way, so I can go, hey, if I control by you, then that way, then when I look at the camera, up will be that way, and if I control by that one, up will be that way. Okay, making notes of how to make a tug here, trying to figure this all out, because right now, I think if that is up, I've got nowhere to mark it, so I don't know how. But if I then change the camera angle, so that's up, that means we want to travel south, essentially. Now we've got loads of that, but we don't have much burn time left. This is the problem. This is the problem I'm having. With using these sort of engines. Knowing that I don't know about my vertical speed or my other speed, and I'm concerned that we're going to run out of thrust on these engines. We're going up way too high here, so I need to drop that down. I also need to rotate the craft around a bit, so let's do that. Really what I should build is a rover. I should build a rover, and I should use some of the Kerbal attachment systems and that, so I can build a crane. That would make more sense than the Sky one. Then the Sky one can just bring them in close by, drop them down, then a crane can come in, pick them up, and move on. And then just build everything to a certain size. That, I feel, would work better. Because now we are coming down, and I don't want to touch the ground because I'm going to scrape the legs. But I don't want to accelerate too hard because I'm concerned that I'm going to fly off into the sky again. So I've got to get a balance for it. So a hover mode would be good. But then I've got to worry about the time on the engines. So Of course, as the craft gets lighter as well, with the fuel being burnt off, which is really not. It's really not burning the fuel off at all, if I'm honest with you. We're using so little fuel, it's unbelievable. Right, try that again. Let's lift off, shall we? Go. We're aiming for that there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to bounce it a little bit here, apparently. And the RCS off. RCS and the SAS off there. Okay. So what I should be able to do now is if I undock this, control from this one. And watch your side of the panel, watch your side of the panel. Jesus. Oh, right, and then we're going to land this somewhere and reevaluate what we've done and what we're doing. So this control point needs to be at 45 degrees to all these, and we'd like control points on these points here. It would appear. But also, we'd really, really, really very much like a rover to allow us to deploy these much better than this, because this is a bit ridiculous. Let's be honest with you. I mean, the sky crane works for picking things up and moving things around, but you can't do precision with it. But we did attach one to this. It is attached, which is awesome. That is stage 1 of many, and over here we also have our drills and our other bits and pieces, which are, I suppose if I deploy the landing legs on these, it might make life a little bit easier. Well, it's not going to make things any easier for any of them, because we can't attach to any of them in any real way, shape or form because of how things are. So yeah, we need to think differently. Okay, so what I'm trying to achieve is complicated because of the complexity of fuel. With Kerbalism requires so much to be wherever you're doing your fuel thing, so I'd have to build a rover, so I kind of need to unlock these wheels at least, because the wheels we have really wouldn't be good enough. I'd also have to unlock there was another one I wanted to unlock somewhere, which I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, oh, the automation. So I need to unlock, sorry, this one here with the new guidance one, so that we have different options of the guidance. I'd kind of like iron engines for things, so I need more science to do that, which is awkward. However, I've kind of realised that I don't need to be doing what I'm doing. I might semi-abandon the base that we've got there. We will rebuild it at some point, but why don't I put a space station in orbit? It's much easier to build a space station, connect it all up, and have all the refineries and everything like that in orbit, and then just have a lander go down, grab the carbon, grab the water. That's it, it's just carbon and water, isn't it, that's required? Yeah, so we can just have tanks of carbon and water. It'll go down, it will mine the tanks of the carbon and water, it'll pick it up, it'll bring it back up to the station, it'll dock with it, and then the station can refine all the things in orbit. And that's, and I was so obsessed with trying to build a base, I didn't even think about doing that. So I think that's going to be a change of plans. So let me design a space station that's going to make this all work, which is going to be a bit larger due to due to Kerbalism mainly. Okay, so here we are. Here is the refinery as it is going to be in orbit of Mimas. Still needs a few tiny tweaks in places like reaction wheels and monopropellant. We've got monopropellant here, so yeah. Now, this has taken me probably 7 hours or so, although the first hour was me installing some other mods to try and get some bigger segments. The near future construction has loads of fantastic parts, but they're in the next here along we haven't got updated yet, so yeah. And along with the station part as well, Bonatira as well, that's yeah, I installed both of those, but the parts I wanted weren't available yet, so I just decided to install Tweak Scale, and Tweak Scale has pretty much done everything for me. All I've used it for is on these modular segments, so we can increase the size of them and then connect them and make things look a little bit better, because it's quite awesome. So basically, let me get up as high as I can. That is as high as I can get. Wow. Okay, so we'll start in the center. We've got your standard cupola and a hitchhiker container and some supplies, reaction wheels, a couple of empty tanks here because I've got the modular fuel tanks, so they're empty, and then one in the center is monopropellant. We've got no monoprop engines on this yet, no RCS, but we will have them. On the I suppose that's the right hand side because that's the front. So turn it around. On the right hand side, this is the side for doing water electrolysis. These 14 convertertrons take in the water and break it down into hydrogen and oxygen and put it into the tanks over here. I'll actually remove my water tanks for the moment. They'll go on top. I think the water tanks go on top. And yes, yeah, because I changed things up. So yeah, so the water tanks will be there. They'll go on top. And then it gets broken down into hydrogen and oxygen there and there. And then this one converts that into liquid fuel. Dead simple. I need 14. He says, yeah, I need 14 of these little ones to run that. I'm using the smaller ones rather than the large converterons because they're actually more power efficient. I use less power using many little ones than I do using one big one, so we've gone that way with it. And the other side, this is the carbon one. This takes carbon and breaks it down to carbon, takes carbon and oxygen and breaks it down to carbon dioxide. And then over here we have the Astrogator process creating oxidizer. The oxidizer will go down into the tanks down here. We've got 4 large tanks with domes at the end of them, so a decent bit of storage. Over here we have carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide because I've got a patch that allows me to add carbon to some of these storage things. And I thought I fixed it for these, but I didn't, and I need to fix that, and then one of these will become carbon, and then the other one will become carbon dioxide. So it will take carbon, and it will take oxygen, and it will put it together, and everything will be awesome. Down below we have a nuclear stack. There are 42 nuclear reactors down here. I've sort of tweaked things together. I've got the tricoupler, and then rotated one around so they're together. So that is a stack of 42 nuclear reactors all together, all running around. I've got some thermal control here. I don't know what's going to happen with these. I don't know if they're going to cook themselves and explode or what. I'm not sure. We also have yes, of course, removal tanks, show UI, add xenon gas and then empty it out. There we go. With tweak scale, if you change the modular tanks and then tweak scale it, it defaults back to what it was before, so it does weird things. So make sure you tweak scale first, then do other changes to it. Unless you're using these container tanks, then make sure you set them to the right size and then tweak scale, which is just weird. Little things like that you've got to figure out. But yeah, so that's 42 nuclear engines, nuclear reactors producing 1,542. It's actually more than that, but this is with all of it. Everything's running. Everything is switched on right now. So yeah, we're using 1,300 for water electrolysis, 157 for carbon, as well as other bits and pieces. So yeah, everything is awesome. I think I want to change this one. I also haven't changed a lot of things to be high quality, which I need to do. I want to configure the pod, and I don't want a scrubber on that one. I want a water recycler, I think. Yeah. So that one's got pressure control and scrubber, and that's got water recycler. We might add some science to this at some point. I don't know. I haven't really decided. Right. And then yeah, the tank's there, and then on the end we're going to have docking ports. We've got some docking ports there. These are for the large docking ports when we get them. So yeah, or they could be used to expand out if I want to. I could put science ports on the side of them. But that's the Mimbus base. Now I need to break this down. Ignore that box. That's just carbon, so that I could. If you don't have any carbon storage, you can't turn on these converterons. So that will go. That's just because that's what they're supposed to be. Yeah, so that's what this is going to be. That's how it's going to work. We might put some science on it, as I said, but to actually use this, I need to break it down and put docking ports in certain places, which is going to be interesting. Really, I need the large docking ports. That's what we need. We need the large ones. So let me save this and have a quick look in here. And where are the large docking ports? Not down here. there. That's the one I need. Oh, that's also got the hub match. Oh, okay, that was kind of one that I was interested in. So, and the docking port Grande. Oh, a large docking port. That's probably restock. Loads of adapters for things. So I might be able to put them in the place down the bottom, and then have, rather than make it thinner and come out again. So yeah, we need this. We need that. We need 550 before I can really get that base going, because trying to do it with the small docking ports is going to be almost impossible. We also have larger tanks which open up, which tweak scale kind of defeats the objective, but I haven't tweak scaled any tanks. I've only used it for the structure, which I think is fine. I don't think that's cheaty at all. Yeah, it's purely for the structure, and I don't... Did I change any tanks at all? I think the water tank I changed originally. Oh, and then I did that anyway. So yeah, yeah. I don't think there's anything at all. Oh, the Xenon tank down the bottom, I changed with tweak scale because I needed one that fitted the size. But if we unlock this and get that, that's got a larger top to it. So yeah, 2.5 meter. So we could put our nuclear reactors on that instead. Quad by, yeah, so we need this. So we need this. How close? How quickly can we get 100 science? I don't know. We have kind of exhausted all the science around Kerbin, around here. Beep takes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever to do. It doesn't really give a great deal here. Mind you, we haven't really done it around Kerbin, but it does take, it's like a year to get the data, so yeah. Birdie flying low. Alright, so we've got a few to do around here. Some of the moon landed. Oh, that's, oh, okay, chilled. Landed, splashed down, and space low. So requires a greenhouse. So send a greenhouse to there, and also send a greenhouse to Mimbus. 120. How long does that take? 200 days. So that's yeah. There's no quick science anymore. I don't feel as if there's any quick science to be had anywhere. We've done all that. We apparently haven't done crew reports from the surface of the moon. We haven't sent a rover around the moon. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm sure I did that. Or was it Mimbus we did that on? I'm sure I've done that. So there's 40, it's 100, so that's... Okay, so next episode, we're going back to the moon with a rover and some supplies and other bits and pieces, and we're just going to drive around. I am sure I did that. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Not on the moon. Not with Kerbals. We did it with an automated... Actually, do you know what? I think we did. I'm sure we did. But for some reason, we can do it again. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the moon. We're going to bring some Kerbals. Transfer any crew between vessels near the moon. Tick. There we go. We get some money as well, because that station is going to cost us a lot. So, okie dokie. That's our thing for the next mission. Sure, I could do that. Sure, we got something in orbit of Duna, but yeah. Anyway, that's our next mission. So I shall do that, and we shall come back next time and start from there. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.